that he was on steroids and he got off steroids, and this is what happened. He was picking up steroids for someone with the initials of LJ. If you know the full story, the 520 crew, friend of the show, they were talking about LeBron, and I guess they were trying to figure out which was the best version of Bron. And in whatever, like, they were coming to the conclusion of, Jeff Teague interrupted by saying, "Oh, nah, dog, Miami Bron's so good because he was on steroids."
Which Bron was better?
Miami Heat Bron.
Miami Heat Bron.
Miami Heat.
I'm going this Cavs Bron because this Cavs Bron had a 3.
Man, y'all crazy. Miami Heat Bron was, I ain't gonna lie. He was on steroids, bro. He had to sit out. He was on steroids for real.
Not give
like legit, allegedly, but like he had to sit out. But y'all remember when they told him like
there goes the Clutch Sports allegations?
Y'all remember that though?
No.
When they was like, he got everybody. They started testing for HGH, and they was like, "Yo," and he had to sit out. Like he said, his back was hurt, and he sat out for like 3 weeks, and he came back skinny. This is just, I was in the league. I remember. And he came back in. He was crazy though.
Nah, that might have been the best Bron, bro.
Okay, so just for the people who are unaware, and that's my first time hearing that clip in its totality. For those who are unaware, who may not have been alive or watching the league at that time, LeBron leaves Miami. As he leaves Miami, he's going back to Cleveland. When he's going back to Cleveland, during the off season, he posts this picture of him in like all black, and the nigga is like mad skinny. LeBron skinny jeans. Jesus Christ, no nigga, LeBron skinny. This was the picture. He posts this picture of him like looking mad skinny. All right, so this is the off season. This is the off season. Everyone's losing their mind. Like, how is it possible that someone who was the size of a power forward can look like this within a matter of a few months? Sidebar, we literally just saw Luka just shred like what seems to be like 20 pounds at bare minimum. And yes, this fit is garbage. So LeBron loses all this weight. They're trying to figure out how it's possible. And then he says that he was like on a keto diet or some shit like that. I don't know what it is. But then LeBron comes out for the 2014-2015 season, and it is by far the worst version I have ever seen of LeBron, probably until 2007. It was the worst version of LeBron we had seen in damn near a decade. That's how bad LeBron was. He wasn't the same defender. He couldn't shoot. Like, it was just terrible. So everybody's trying to figure out why is he playing this bad? Like, why is LeBron why is he playing this bad at basketball? And just so we all can be on the same page about what I'm talking about, it's his first year back in Cleveland. This year right here, 2014, 2015. And then here is the gap that Teague is talking about. And he, in Detroit, as you all can see, he finished off on a game where he shot 5 for 19. So, in the first 29 games of the season, LeBron is averaging 25 points, 5 rebounds, 7 to 8 assists, turning the ball over 4 times, and shooting sub 49% from the field and 74% from the free throw line. That's what he was doing. And defensively, he just wasn't the same. So everybody's trying to figure out what was going on. He takes this break. He comes back. The very next game he comes back, and he has a 33-7-5 game and shoots crazy. Now, here's a problem with a lot of things that people say about this story. People then act as if like LeBron was just amazing for the rest of the season. He wasn't. Like, for the rest of the season, he still averaged 25, 7-6 or 7-7, 2 steals, 4 turnovers, and shot 49% from the field, 34% from behind the arc. And he shot worse from the free throw line, 68.5. So he was actually worse as the season progressed from the free throw line. And overall, to this day, this is towards the bottom of his percentages, field goal percentage. I want to say, yeah, it's his second highest turnover average. And he's had some worse free throw shooting seasons since, because in LA he's racked up a couple of them. But it was just the worst version of LeBron that we've seen in a while. Then he went into the playoffs, and I've talked about this before, bro. In the playoffs this year, in the totality of the playoffs, he averaged 30, 11, and 8.5, but he shot 42% from the field and 23% from behind the arc. Be very mindful that the years leading up to this, LeBron is progressively just, his three-point shooting went from 26% from behind the arc in the postseason to 38 to 41, and then it just craters down to 22%. And he can't make a shot. Like, he's just not the same shooter. So then everybody was asking, why is Bron this bad? And the conclusion that people came to is that, like Jeff Teague said, that he was on steroids and he got off steroids, and this is what happened because they caught him on steroids. Something along those lines. Now, if you know the full story, Bron was dealing with a back injury all throughout the season, and they forced him to stop playing basketball because he had a bad back. That's literally what was reported by multiple people, Brian Windhorst, other sources at ESPN, and so they had to pull him away. The other problem with LeBron at that point in time is that he was trying to adjust to a team that he had not played for, and he had not played with that type of dynamic of a team since 2009 and 2010. What do I mean by this? That first year in Cleveland, the floor spacing wasn't the same it was when he was in Miami. Because in Miami, the last 2 to 3 years, they got accustomed to Bosh at the 5, who's a better floor spacer. This time around, they're giving more minutes to Tristan Thompson, Anderson Varejao, Timofey Mozgov. Like, those are the 5s that they're playing around alongside LeBron. So that's what's happening. Then they trade for Iman Shumpert. Deion Waiters can't shoot himself. Sean Marion getting minutes. He can't shoot. It's a poorly spaced team. It just genuinely is. And then on top of that, he's also trying to, I don't want to say teach, but he's certainly trying to allow Kyrie to grow as a ball player, because Kyrie didn't understand the dynamics of passing and playmaking at that stage of his career. That's what's going on. There's a lot of dynamics. And if you watch, also David Blatt is a rookie coach. So that's another thing. So there's I don't want to say parental role. So there's a lot of things going on. And I think that's a much clearer outline to what's going on, because if he stopped taking steroids, I don't know why that would mean that he all of a sudden can't shoot a basketball. I don't like you not taking steroids. Then all of a sudden you can't shoot a basketball, when steroids is supposed to be for your recovery, not your accuracy from a distance. Like, that don't really make any sense. But Jeff Teague saying that, I'm not gonna lie, is grossly irresponsible. It is outrageously irresponsible. It is outrageously irresponsible. Now, okay, Herb also brought up the whole Herb brought up the investigation. There was also this investigation at that time that ESPN was doing. The FBI was involved as well. And then he brought in, they were claiming that somewhere in Miami that there was someone with the initials of RP, Rich Paul, and then he was picking up steroids for someone with the initials of LJ, LeBron James. Now, if I were doing steroids, even I would know not to use the same initials that my name is. That is so dumb. Why would I use my own initials? But okay, all right, fair, I guess. I don't know. But someone said that Jeff Teague was trolling. So let's hear Jeff Teague's response, because this is his response. Let's see if he was really trolling. Let's just see. And before we play this, I want to play the clip one more time, because I don't know, like, maybe I'm like off basis, but it doesn't sound like trolling to me.
Ever the dude that pulled up on me at
Oh no, that's the other one. Here we go.
Which Bron was better?
Miami Heat Bron.
Miami Heat Browns.
Miami Heat.
I'm going this Cavs Bron because this
Man.
Cavs Bron had a 3.
Man, y'all
Heat Bron was
crazy.
That
Miami
might be the
Heat
best
Bron
Brown we ever
was,
seen. I ain't gonna lie.
he was on steroids, bro. He had to sit out. He was on steroids for real.
He was on steroids for real.
like legit was on steroids,
Like legit was on steroids.
bro. I'm allegedly, but like he
Allegedly, but I'm trolling.
had to sit out. But y'all remember when they told him like they
There
gonna
goes the
start?
Clutch Sports allegations.
Y'all remember that though?
Nah,
When they was like he got everybody, they started testing for HGH, and they was like, yo, and he had to sit out. Like he said his back was hurt, and he sat out for like 3 weeks, and he came back skinny. This is just I was in the league. I remember. And he came back in. He was crazy though, bro.
He was not okay. All right, so I'm gonna hear what Jeff Teague has to say about his. That don't sound like trolling me. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. That just sound like a nigga who just dead ass saying it. He's like actually dead. Like y'all remember that, right? Y'all remember that, right? Y'all remember that? Shit, I remember. I was in the league. I just want y'all to just. I just want to hear this.
I guess I'm good, man. Y'all doing a lot today.
Hey, you know my boy stretched out when he went to the black forces with the black lasers.
Yeah,
He
I ain't swap them out, bro. It's been a long day. Thanks to Jeff Teague.
Why me?
And it started yesterday
Why me, bro?
when he posted. First of all, he never posts on his page. So for him to go out of his way to make an actual post, that's
You
not
post
from
me with no
Clubhouse
mustache,
20.
bro.
I didn't do that, bro. I just accepted the collab.
No.
That was Mike.
No, bro. I seen it still had TikTok in the corner, bro. I'm like,
Oh, he screen
I
recorded.
was like, hold on, it
That
got
was
TikTok.
that was sent to us. in the
Yeah,
group
but I'm
chat
like,
that
why you
never in.
posted though? Like,
No, Mike said accept the collab, and he and I accepted the collab.
that ain't how the collabs work.
Just so y'all know, this is the post that they're talking about. Y'all weird. I was joking about Braun. He was just that dominant chill. Okay, so that he's saying that he was joking.
Yes.
I be seeing the collabs. That ain't how they work.
You just weren't notified.
Oh, okay.
So you bring your artist for this?
Shout out to Mike. That's
Damn.
shout out to Jordan today, cause
On the way in, you know what I'm saying? Clutch Sports for 2 weeks, man.
they kicked me off the clutch, bro. Listen, bro, it was a joke, bro. Like, what did they miss, bro?
Hey, now, before we even get to that, who do we have on the show who was from Clutch? And they were just like, yeah, I had to double check to see if he was actually on the roster. Who was that?
Take everything out of context. We were literally giving LeBron praise of how dominant he was.
Yeah, y'all wasn't really watching the show, and I mean that's why shit get clipped up though. Like,
And we
go ahead.
We was saying he was so dominant.
This is your post, King. You
Nah,
right.
I'm just saying we were saying he was so dominant that, like, bro, you 280 running that fast, bro. I'm like, bro, he was on steroids, bro.
Yeah, and that was a real storyline though. I mean,
But
it
I was joking because
Yeah.
if I knew that people like, how did you know he was on steroids? I didn't know. I don't know. I don't care. Because if he was and I knew, I would have told that nigga give me some. I would have
tapped in.
I would have been 6'3", 285 too, nigga, running like a Mack truck. Like,
If you had a recipe, there would be no Club Pops on you right
no,
now.
I wish I had the recipe. Like,
Nah,
matter of
for sure.
fact, if you got some, bro, tap in.
Send the remix.
I'm ready to make a comeback. Shit, me, John Wall, send it all of us.
Bro, come on, chat. Come on, chat. Come on. That's what I'm saying. The tone in which they're using now when they're actually joking versus what they were using before. These are two. This is joking. This is trolling. They're actively laughing through the words that they're saying. I'm not going to say him and say what this man did or did not say in the manner in which he did it. But what I am going to say is it's not that crazy for anyone to then believe. Come on, dog. It's not that crazy for someone to believe that you may have known something. You literally said, I was in a league at that time, as if like you had some form of intel that other people outside the league don't have. You literally presented it that way. Now, you can't be joking, but to not understand where people are coming from when the tone you're using now, in contrast to the tone you're using before, these are two different tones. Those are just two different tones. I don't know. I don't even think I really need to explain to y'all that those are two different tones. These are not the same tones. We can be honest with ourselves. We can be honest with ourselves, dog. Let me hear what else.
So shit, we trying to get
Oh,
back.
you too old. You gonna fall apart.
Fuck it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Like,
listen, the steroid league is on the way.
man,
Try to qualify.
listen, bro.
That's
I
a
couldn't
real
believe.
thing, though.
Well, only reason I even knew about is because my dad. He was like, "You trying to get us killed?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" I think I did something crazy.
I woke up, my phone was bro. I really thought something happened.
I did too. When my dad said that, "You trying to get us killed?" And
And
I
I
was
knew
like,
it
"What are
wasn't
you
about
talking
my
about?"
family or nothing because it was all social media shit. And I'm like,
He
damn.
like, "You said something about Bron?" I was like, "What?" I literally didn't know. I'm like, "What did I say about Bron?"
Yeah.
He like, "Something about steroids."
Yeah, that wasn't even like the
I
topic
was
of the show
like,
for
"What?"
real either.
The
I was
fact that
like-
Coach Teague hit you about this is hilarious.
Yeah, I was like, I just made a joke that he good. Like, he was so good and so strong, much faster than everybody. I was like, that nigga had to be on steroids. And he was like, well, people think you know that he's on steroids. I'm like, man, I don't know that, man. Like, I've never seen that man do nothing. I was like, I just said that he went out for 2 weeks and he came back a superhuman.
I mean, I hate it got taken up that way, but I understand too because like the shit that you tell about the NBA, it always followed by videos and shit like that.
Yeah,
So you
but-
gotta look at that side of it too.
Yeah, but I don't know, Bron.
The
I
funny
mean, I
part about this,
understood, but
they just killed us for saying we glazed Bron too much.
Yeah.
oh, facts.
Now we hate LeBron.
Nah, I hate Bron. Yeah, they just told me, you a Bron hater. Y'all just told me I was
They said we
a
talking about
weirdo
Bron
'cause
too
I love
much.
Bron.
We signed a clutch. We sold our soul.
I still love Bron. Bron's still the greatest one of
I feel as if like I think I kind of get the gist. I ain't gonna sit here and beat a dead horse. I think it's just really hard to get off that Bron was on steroids, especially with the degree of testing that's going on right now. I think it's a little bit difficult to get that off. And at the end of the day, I think especially at that point in time, it's even hard to even get off like a justification to why Bron would need to even take steroids at that point in his career. It's not like I think people tend to forget how young Bron was. Bron was still in his 20s. Bron had just turned 30 when he went back to Cleveland. Bron was not like some old person when he went back to Cleveland. So yeah, he's not like he was nowhere near close. Yeah, and he's been accused of that shit for years and years and years. I think if anything, that might be the most valid season to question him. But there's like very clearly articles about what exactly was going on with Bron at that stage of his career, and also the makeup of the roster wasn't that great either. Like he was on the floor with like outside of Kevin Love, there was nobody else in that front court that was able to shoot. It was non-floor spacers. This is before we really accepted the idea of running small ball. So this idea of like running two traditional bigs or having a backup center that also can't shoot was still very much so alive in the NBA. And LeBron just got done with the last 2 to 3 years playing with Chris Bosh at the 5, where he just has way more gravity. He takes up more attention from the defense. Like there's a lot of things that were just awry for that season. David Blatt was the head coach. I think that goes way more into it. But if that's the only season that people can point to, and also like he literally lost weight before the season began, so the like timeline is a little off. But if like I get it, like I do think also that LeBron, the best version of LeBron, was in Miami, and that first year post Miami, he did like a totally different nigga. He looked completely different. I ain't gonna hold you. He looked like a completely different person. Low, please. That man had the best built team in the East. He doesn't need any excuses. In 2015, sure. I think having the best built team in the East and still having a team that can best maximize you are not the same thing. Having the best built team in the Eastern Conference at that point in NBA history, respectfully, is a low fucking bar. The only two teams you would have to be better than is who the Hawks or the Raptors? Like, be fucking serious, dog. The Wizards. Like, what are we doing, dog? What are we? No, Boston in 2015. No, the 2015 season, Boston finished with a losing record. The 2015 season is when, no, not the Pacers, because that's post Paul George injury, and Roy Hibbert and David West were like either they were still on the team or they were off somewhere else. Yeah, and then the FBI investigation cleared him as well. Yeah, that was the year that the Hawks won 60 games. The Hawks were the best built team in the East, or at least the one that can compete with it. So the Bulls were up there too, because I think that was that year that Derrick Rose came back. He hit that shot in the playoffs as well, and it was like Jimmy and Powell. Noah was probably on his last leg too. But the bar to be a better built team is pretty low. All right. Overall though, if Jet Teague said he's joking, I guess he's joking. I just think that it's like I don't know. I think that's a very dangerous line to tote, especially when you're literally saying, "Nah, legit, nah, for real. Y'all remember that, right? Nah, seriously, y'all remember that, right? I was in the league. I remember that." And then you don't understand why somebody will then think that you're being serious. I don't know, especially when like there's been conversations about that for years. But yeah, if any, that was an interesting year for Bron. Very very interesting year.